No, it's been a tough week nationally. We've had to deal with probably one of the worst things I have ever seen in this country. There's been worse things, but I didn't see them. And this was tearing parents away from their children regarding this immigration thing. And it was horrific. It was horrible. And I was angry. But I didn't think there was anything I could do except complain and send stuff out. And it got to a point where on LinkedIn, which is supposed to be for business purposes, although Microsoft, once they bought it, decided to try to turn it into a business version of Facebook, there were people there talking about it. And I couldn't believe I saw people who were representing large companies like United Health, because it was in their bio, saying nasty things about children being ripped from their parents and agreeing that it was in principle a good idea and saying it was the parents' fault. And there's just no way I like that. And so I got so angry that I was ready to call this guy out and call out the company. I mentioned them anyway because who cares? The truth of the matter is, I know the company didn't support what this guy said. They had just hours earlier put out an article about diversity. So I know they didn't, although I did kind of ask them what they thought about it. And then I decided at some point, you know what, I'm going to let it go. The reason I decided to let it go is actually very strange. It's not because suddenly earlier today, those people in Washington decided that what they've been doing was wrong and have reversed that particular policy. It's because of my mother. It's because my mother is now one of those people who, when I put on certain TV shows or movies for her to watch, she immediately can figure out who is the good person and who is the victim and who the bad people are. And she gets so inflamed that she screams at everything that the people who are doing wrong are doing. And she really she wants to climb out of the chair, which she can't do. She says she's going to call the police. She says she's going to slap them. A couple of times she said she's going to shoot and beat somebody. This is a woman who never said a bad word about anyone back in the day. She probably thought a lot about it. She never hit me. I was never hit by either of my parents. But she's finding that she sees these things and they get her angry. Every once in a while, she overhears my wife and I, either the two of us talking about something or my wife talking to someone on the phone, because I'm almost never on the phone. And she gets mad about what's happening in the world. And she just wants to hit somebody. And I thought about that. And I said, you know, it is too easy these days for us to strike out at other people. I really wanted to be able to hop in a car and go drive and see this man stand in front of me, in my face, and tell me what he had the bravery to say online. Say it to my face. But I'm recognizing I'm older, and I'm not as strong as I used to be. I certainly don't have the stamina I used to have. He was older too. I'm not sure how old he is. I mean, he could be older than me. He could be younger than me and just looks like he's my age. I don't know. But it's one of those kind of things where you have to kind of step back and you have to take a moment and you have to think, okay, what is a better thing to do? In this case, it turns out I definitely was not alone. It got a lot of press. It got a lot of social media coverage and it got overturned. Thank you. I don't care what side of the immigration thing you're on. You just don't do this to children. You don't put children in internment camps. You don't put them in cages. You don't separate them from their parents. You just don't do it. You don't make jokes about it. This was overstepping the line. This is not what America's about. But it's also not about beating each other up. It can be about getting retribution, but it's got to be the right kind of retribution. And it might be time for me to once again follow up on something that I actually tried back. It turns out I started this in 2010, where I actually had a period of time when I decided I was going to step away from all news. I wasn't going to read any news. I wasn't going to watch any on TV. I did it for a week. And it didn't get me to what I wanted, so I gave it up. I did stop watching TV pretty much, which means I stopped watching TV news. But I'm inundated with it everywhere else. And maybe that's one of the things that's wrong with some of us is that we're inundated by it so much, and it's hard to stay away from. And maybe we just need to find our ways to step back and look into ourselves and try to find a little bit of peace in our lives. Of course, it may not happen. I put these things on for my mother. She yells. Something else bad is going to happen in the country, and I'm going to get upset. But it happens all the time. And we just have to find our ways through it. So, this guy's getting a pass from me for the day, and United Health is getting a pass from me for the day. And I'll move on to the next thing. What's your thought? Do you think that maybe we need to find ways to calm down? You're probably going to say we need to find ways to talk to each other and get along. It ain't going to happen. I hate to be the one to say that. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Until we really are ready to talk rather than talk over, ain't going to happen. So maybe we can find ways to have peace. Let me know your thoughts. My name is Mitch Mitchell. I hope you have a wonderful day.